the CBN as well, because we've seen the CBN governor under fire in the last couple of weeks on account of the monetary policy. Now, let's talk about money politics in Nigeria. The fact that money plays a really large role in politics in Nigeria. Do you think that's going to end in this cycle of election with the way things are? It
is not going to end, but if we continue to push it, if we continue to implement it, if we implement this monetary policy judiciously, I can bet you that we are going to reduce it. We are going to reduce it. For me, I'm 100% in support of what the CBN is doing. It shouldn't be so. I don't know how money got into Nigerian politics, and it's very dangerous. It is too dangerous because they allow these politicians to spend so much money before they get to the public office. And what do you expect? I know that the politicians, on their own part, have not done well. Because if we have done what we are supposed to do for the electorate, if we have done what we are supposed to, providing the basics for the electorate, maybe they wouldn't have been so interested in what they are doing. In political activities. But even then, it is too dangerous that you allow somebody that is just contesting election to go and represent a people, to go and represent a community, to spend so much money before he gets to public office. What do you expect? Business is business. Everybody look at it. Even in the church. The church these days are run like business. And they expect to also make profit. So when you go to when you contest election to go to a public office, you spend all the money that you have. Sometimes you sell your stuff, sell your houses, your cars, your lands, everything that you have just to raise money to contest election. And then at the end of the day, that person must look for a way to recoup that investment, because that's an investment also. And in trying to recoup that investment, if what he's getting in public office is not even enough, chances are that the people will now look for other loopholes of getting money to take care of their investment. So the electorate also have a role to play in this matter. If the electorate can know that I am going to election, I'm going to a public office, I want to go and represent you, and I'm talking to you, all I need from you is to support me or not support me. You can decide to say, okay, I don't like you, I'm not going to support you, I'll support Mr. B. Fine and good. But don't ask me or don't make me go sell all these things that I have. Don't make me go raise all the money that I have to give you. And then at the end of the day, sometimes you take that money, you don't even support the person that you are taking the money from.
But
so
people
it is
say
very dangerous.
The fact that this is what happens, that politicians only come to them during election, and so they too want to get whatever they can get from the politicians within that period.
Then the cycle will continue. If we look at it that way, then the cycle will continue. That's why I started by saying that politicians themselves have not done well for the electorate, because if the basics has been provided for them, a water, electricity, route, infrastructure, education, give them affordable education, make the campuses conducive, security. If all these things has been kept in place for the electorate, then there will be little or less money in Nigerian politics. But yes, the electorate are also looking at every 4 years, this is an opportunity to get money from politicians. But is that really the best also? Because when you allow somebody to spend this huge amount of money, he borrows the money. Sometimes he sells his property or her property. Sometimes he just get money from people, raise money from friends and family members, and invest in the project. And then you expect that when the guy gets there, that the guy will first of all come and take care of you. He has to look for he has to recoup this investment. And in trying to do that, you that taxed him so much, you that made him to spend all this money, is also crying that this guy didn't do anything for me, this guy didn't do anything for me. Have you forgotten what did you do for the guy when he was looking for a public office, when he was contesting election? So it's a two-way thing. You have to look at it this way and look at it this way. Yes, politicians have failed in their statutory responsibilities of providing at least the basics for the electorate. I'm saying that because I've been in the U.S. I lived in the U.S. and I see how elections are done. I see how campaigns are done. When you declare for election in the US, people contribute money. They contribute money for you. Presidential election in the US is very expensive. Yeah, it is very expensive here too. But then the money that they raise for presidential candidate in the US is not used in bribing people or buying vote or going to world tour and then spend money. Most of their money is used in logistics, chartering, hiring of an airplane to fly from one state to the other, to hold campaigns, media, advertisement, and all that. That's where the bulk of the money for a presidential candidate in the US goes. But here, the bulk of the money goes to the electorate. It goes to the electorate.
Walk us through this process. So when we say the bulk of the money goes to the electorate, even without buying votes, I don't want to, not aside from buying votes now, what does the average politician have to do to get, the people to vote for him on election day?
Okay. Election starts. Let me give you the different phases of election. You come out, declare your intention. Of course, you start from the party. Look at what the APC did. To get a form to go to the House of Representatives, APC charges their members 20 million. Just 20 million to buy a form. So how many young men in Nigeria, even though there was a not too young to run bill that was signed by this administration. So you give them in one hand and take in the other hand. How many young men can raise 20 million to buy a form? Are you telling me that the young people in this country does not have the intellect, does not have the capacity, does not have what it takes to go to the House of Representatives? They do. But do they have the funds to go buy form 25 million or 20 million? That's number one. You finish the form with 20 million, go through the screening, go through everything, and then you start the campaign. You have a federal constituency of 3 local government, or 5 local government, or 1 or 2 as the case may be. And then in this 3 local government, you are going to go around consulting the critical stakeholders in that local government. And each of these consultations is not free. You don't go to talk to a man and say, I'm coming to tell you that I want to contest election to go and represent you, and please, I need your prayers and your support. No, it doesn't end there. You have to buy sometimes goat, you have to buy drinks, you have to give them money, and all that's consultation. And then sometimes you go there and it's a large consultation, and that requires more items, more money. And then you do that. If you have 5 local government, you do that the entire 5 local government. My brother, think how much it will cost you. An average consultation, even if it costs you 10,000 naira, an average consultation. Think about consulting maybe 50,000 people in your federal constituency, or 100,000, 200,000 people. So do the math. And then after that, you now do the ward tour. You have in some federal constituency, you have up to 100 wards. You have up to sometimes 850 wards. And then you have to go around all these wards. And what are you doing in the ward? Speaking to people. And after speaking to the people expect you to drop something. You have to give them transport money. So you drop something. Where is all this money coming from? From your own sweat. Or the money you borrowed from people. The money you raise from wherever you are raising the money from. The money from your own business. It's not from the party. And then so it continues like that. There are people that you have to even buy. And you have to give them so much money to support you. They don't want to support you if you don't negotiate with them. They say, okay, if you want me to come, you have sometimes you have to buy as big as a car for someone before the person supports you. It shouldn't be that way. Politics in advanced country, in advanced democracy, are not played that way. So we need to see how do we reduce money in Nigerian politics.
Is this why you left the APC for the YPP?
No.
And also, no. I'm asking this because the National Assembly you're going to the Senate. You hope to be in the Senate, the 10th Senate. And the National Assembly is one group of people who have stood against the CBN policy, especially around this period, because they consider it, a threat to, the way that things are run, especially in politics. What do you hope to change in the National Assembly? Why are you gunning to get into the Senate, the 10th Senate?
Well, I've been a member of that institution. I spent 8 years in the House of Representatives. Between 2015 and 2019, I chaired a committee on local content. And by the special grace of God, when this committee was handed over to me, it was graded C. It was a grade C committee.
What was the responsibility, before you move on, what was the responsibility of the local content
committee? Well, the responsibility was, we have a local content law in the country. It's oil and gas. Just oil and gas.
It's just restricted to oil and gas.
Yes.
We have a lot of local content.
Well, what we have that is the law. The law, the legally one that we know is just oil and gas.
Okay.
That's why what I'm going to do in the Senate is to make sure that that's spread to other critical sectors or diversify to other critical sectors. Because what we have in oil and gas, we've actually made a tremendous gain in this country. And if we can spread that to other critical sectors, not only are we going to create wealth, we're going to provide a lot of jobs opportunity for the younger ones that are looking for jobs. So let me tell you what we did, what local content is all about. Now, before the ascent of that law, you find out that a lot of things that were happening around the oil and gas sectors were actually done by foreigners. I'll give you a case in point. I don't know, we use a lot of vessel within the oil and gas industry. When you hear the offshore platform is just like just go to one big Atlantic Ocean somewhere, and then people are living there doing their operations. And how do they live there? Sometimes it's not like they create a village. Some platform they create a village, but some platform is mainly like a vessel. They use vessel. These vessels are big. Some of them are up to 5 floors, and people are living there, doing their jobs and all that.
Literally, they station a ship in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
And people are living there.
People are living there. So now this kind of stuff were provided by foreigners, and they are making a whole lot of money. That vessel only, the oil company can pay up to as much as $100,000 per night. And yes, we have the oil, it's here, but Nigerians were not given the opportunity, didn't have the opportunity to also provide those kind of services. Today, as I speak, in our territorial waters today, more than 80 to 90% of the vessel used within the oil and gas industries are owned by Nigerians. That is because of the local content law that gave them that impetus, that gave them that support to go and acquire this asset. And today they are making this money. Now, I also tell you this, the artisanal jobs like electrician, plumbing, pipe fitters, scaffolding, those little things like that, painting, were done by these foreigners too. But with the ascent of that law, all that artisanal jobs has been taken care of. In fact, it is even a crime for artisans to come and work within the oil and gas industry.
That's expatriates.
Yes, the expatriate. Well, we call it expatriate. To come and work within the oil and gas industry. Now, before the ascent of this law, we never had some skills in country. For instance, if we have a leak underneath the sea level, and then that will require a sea diver to go right inside there to make sure those things are fixed or taken care of. Before the ascent of that law, we never had those kind of skills, not many in the country. But today, Nigerians have also been trained. It used to be when we have those kind of issues, they'll call an expatriate from Aberdeen. Expatriate will fly in from the US or wherever to come and do that. And that expatriate get paid up to $20,000 a night. So today, your brothers, my brothers, Our sisters are also doing that.
But are they paid on the same, wage
That's a topic for another day. That's something that we need to discuss some other time.
Okay.
Now, we also have, in terms of fabrication, our capacity, in-country capacity then was very low, between 1820. But today, we can say Nigeria has achieved between 60-70 in-country capacity in fabrication. So that law has actually brought a lot of wealth creation in this country. It has actually brought a lot of capacity building, a lot of things that were hitherto done by the multinational, by the foreign companies, are done by the local companies today. And in fact, the law says before any contract is signed within the oil and gas sector, that a Nigerian company must be given the first. It was given a preference, the first right of refusal. Now, where there is no in-country capacity, then you can now bring in a foreign company. And when you bring in that foreign company, the foreign company must use a Nigerian company as a local vehicle. So in that way, at least that money trickle down. It goes to this Nigerian company too. It uses Nigerian labor and these young people that we have trained within the sector to also participate and at least get a little of what is being paid to the foreign companies, unlike before where everything was just capital flight. It's taking everything out. So what I'm trying to do, why I'm going to the House, why I'm going to Senate, I drove the implementation of this law for 4 years, and I saw that this law actually boosts the Nigerian economy so well. It is very possible today that in your own community, in your own local government, that you've seen a millionaire who is an oil and gas contractor. They're everywhere. But have you ever seen a millionaire that is working with MTN, a contractor with MTN? Have you seen a millionaire working as a contractor with Airtel? Those areas are also bigger than oil and gas. Everybody in this country is talking about oil and gas as the biggest sector in this country. Our over-dependence, over-reliance on oil and gas in funding a national budget is also a big problem. So for me, my journey to Senate is, if I am given opportunity by the people of Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District, is to make sure that we reduce the over-dependence, over-reliance on oil and gas, and also look at other sectors. And in creating those, in boosting those sectors, we are going to create jobs for our teeming unemployed. And my people there in Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District, the young people that have also come out from school, don't have what to do, dependent on politicians, will also have something to do. So we have sectors like the solid mineral. In this country, we have minerals deposit in almost all the states. My state there has a lot of deposit of mineral. The north here has so much deposit of mineral. And this sector can also fund the budget of this country. We don't need to even look into oil. And what has been done to this sector so that we can also use this sector to support the economy of this country? Nothing much has been done about the sector. And this is a sector that is even cheaper. It's cheaper to process solid mineral than oil. All we need to do is to build the mills, the processing mills, just a line. Like for instance, we have so much granite and marble in Abuja here and most part of the northern part of the country. What do we do? Nigerians, we are fond of, if you have money now, you go to Italy, you go to Spain to go and buy granite and marble for your house because you have money. But these things are here in abundance. In abundance. All we need to do is get the mills, build the mills, process it, because the only difference between the one we have here and the ones we are exporting is the quality. And once we build the mills, once we build our mill and process it, we can get that same quality. We can even export it because we have it so much that it can even be exported and also bring in some foreign forex into the country. So my joining is to make sure the experience I had for 4 years as the chairman local content, driving the implementation of local content in oil and gas sector, that if we can duplicate that in other critical sectors like the solid mineral, like the ICT communication, that's the GSM, because today an average Nigerian has 2 SIM cards, and nobody is asking MTN or Airtel where are these SIM cards produced or printed. Can you imagine just if we set up a factory that produces SIM card in this country? Can you imagine how many young people work in that factory? Do you ever care to ask who are the people maintaining the fiber of MTN and other associated jobs that we don't even know? These things are still handled by foreign companies. But just one legislation will change all that, and Nigerians will also participate in that sector and make money and create jobs also.
That's quite interesting because there's really no avenue to fund the 2023 budget, and it's saying that over 70% of the funding for the 2023 budget should be tailored around. Yes, it's going to be borrowed, and then non-oil the non-oil sector is expected to fund that. I don't know how that's going to happen, but we'll be continuing this conversation.
When you said non-oil sector, how it's going to happen is they're just looking at customs
and taxations and
taxation. That's customs.
Okay, the conversation continues. We'll be talking more. You can agree that it's an interesting conversation. I see a lot of you want to join in the conversation now, but just keep it with us. In a bit, we'll bring you in. Honorable Emmanuel Okong, YPP senatorial candidate, Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, talking with us and letting us in on some of the things happening in the country. Keep it with us. We'll talk some more in a bit.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hell, who go borrow me 20k like this? Oga Yellow, you never hear Nyanga bid Wheel of Fortune 20k jackpot? You sit down here, they look, better things just they pass you. Oh yeah, bring your phone, go Play Store, App Store, and download Nyanga bid Wolf. Start the spin and win. I don't win. I don't win. I don't win.
Only anybody can win. If you win your bid, you go inside.
Nyanga bid, Nigeria's 100 Naira online market.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
To Earth, everywhere there's internet, you can connect with Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Log on to our website www.eaglesfm.com. Follow and engage with us now on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at EaglesFM Abuja, Instagram at EaglesFM 1023. Download our apps on your Android and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on.
Thank you for keeping it with us on your radio experience. You can count on it. Eagles Outlook. And well, like I said, it seems like a lot of you want to join the conversation already. Joining, let's fill your polls. You have questions or comments to make. You want to pose a question to Honorable Emmanuel Okong. Feel free, send in your thoughts as messages, and also call 09073530044 and 09087668888. You can send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 09097054450. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning to Honorable Emmanuel.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, my brother.
And good morning to all listeners. Good morning to all Nigerians. Honorable, thank you for leaving APC to YPC. Yes. That's the best thing that will happen tonight. If all 1 million Nigerians can listen to me and hear me, some PDP and APC, they are problem of Nigeria. Go for any other party of your choice, no problem. Leave APC and PDP, they are problem of this country. Thank you, Honorable, for leaving APC for PDP. And I wish you well that 2023 next month election will be favor you be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the comment.
Thank you. Thank you, Okwi, for
bless.
calling. All right, 09073530044 and 09087668888. You can send your messages to 09097054450. Another caller. Let's bring you in. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, Prince. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. I'm glad you're here.
Happy New Year. Oh, you are supposed to wish me Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Paul. Where did you go? It seems like you traveled.
You're good at time.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Paul, and Happy New Year.
You see, why sometimes when I want to get angry with the National Assembly members, if I hear people speak, I would like to calm down. Sometimes I will even calm down because the problem I usually have with the National Assembly members is that there are people among honorable members or senators that chair committees or part of committees of maybe government agencies. They don't even have knowledge of what those agencies do. And I'm happy that you chair the committee that you did your own research, you had knowledge about, and you're able to push for that local content law. My question to you on that is, why was there not push for other sectors to be included in the local content law? I'm saying this because of the kind of contractors that we have, the agreement that we have, especially with Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what you go to find there.
That's in the construction sector.
And look, a build up to that. Are there times where when Nigeria go to negotiate these loans with maybe China, is the National Assembly or committees of those sectors they want to negotiate loans for are taken along, especially the chairman or the chairman of those committees?
They don't. Because, unfortunately, the executive do not.
Let's take you along. You will be able to say this is our own local content law. What I found out from the Chinese, you go there, most of the people that work under the Chinese that work here, that bring to work, are prisoners.
Yes, they are. You're right.
Prisoners.
You're correct.
And they bring them to this country to work. They work. They collect our job to an extent of fighting us. If they physical fight them, they will be maltreating us. They will be maltreating, and nobody is doing anything. That's why I blame the National Assembly.
That's exactly why. That's exactly why I want to go to Senate.
Now, the second thing, Honorable, you see, please, with this ninth assembly, I want to ask, are there times where the old members and the new members are brought together to share ideas? Let's assume you left your seat, somebody is on that seat. Are there times where they call you to share ideas? Because this National Assembly, I don't even know how to read them. Going to your own constituency, which is your Akwa Ibom state, I want to ask you one simple question, because you have said a lot about that state. And me, I'm an aviator, and I will say that the investment that Akwa Ibom has done in aviation, especially by flooding and airline, Ibom Air, can we say is a good investment or bad investment? Is it well managed as part of achievement of Akwa Ibom? Because you have said a lot on that state, and I wanted to hear your view on this, based on what I see, and based on where I work every day, and know what they have been able to do. Thank you.
All right, Paul, thank you very much for that. So you have 3 questions from Paul. Are you carried along when the loans are negotiated and all?
Paul, let me start by the issue of negotiation, especially when it has to do with Chinese and other foreigners that are coming into our country. Unfortunately, those negotiations are done by the executive arm of government, and in most cases they don't even think about National Assembly when those stuffs are done, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I would just say straight answer no, that sometimes we don't even have an idea when whoever represents federal government sits down and do those negotiations. So we don't have. But then there's hope. It can be remedied, and it's very simple. The reason why I want to go to Senate, I've been there. I have run a committee. I chaired a committee on local content, and these things that you are telling me today are things that I know. These are things that I know. In fact, I remember back in 2017, I had to intervene with a Nigerian contractor that was supposed to work with CCEC, and at the airport, this airport renovation airport construction project, and the guy was given a contract to supply the I think it was the security alarm or the smoke detector, those stuff I'm talking about. And the guy took sample to the Chinese company. So what they did was to take that sample and went straight to the manufacturer to try to get it directly instead of going through this guy. And it was in a manufacturer far away in Europe that alerted the Nigerian company and said, hey, because he is the accredited distributor for Nigeria. So when this issue came to me, I made sure that that contract was awarded to that guy. That guy got that contract at the end of the day. So I know all this is prisoners working in Nigeria, Chinese site. It is true, because that's why the whole construction that is going on at the airport. Have you ever seen a Chinese guy outside? Have you ever seen one outside? All of them are working there. They work right inside that basement. They sleep there, they bath there, they eat there, they do everything there, because China is overpopulated. Is overpopulated, and their prisons are overcongested. So what they are doing is, instead of getting more people into the prison, since they don't have space, they kind of get some kind of plea bargain with these companies, and they take them out as laborers to come and work in their construction site in Africa. Very rampant in Africa. So we know all this, and that's why I know that just one legislation, diversifying local content into the construction sector will take care of that. So I told you, Paul, I said there is hope, and I mean it, there is hope. We know what to do. I have an idea. It's not something I have to sit down and shout before you're trying to catch a thief, and then you start telling a thief that I'm coming. So I know what to do. All I need is the people of Ikot Insurance District to understand that we have somebody that has a brain and that can work for us. I'm going to work for them, I'm going to work for the entire country. And then when it comes to the issue of IBOM A, of course, IBOM A has done very well in the aviation industry today. IBOM A happens to be the best, and part of it is because of responsible management. We have the COO of IBOM A, who happens to be or was at some time the MD, or is it MD or the MD of FAN? It was the MD of FAN, and the guy I know was he was hired. He was brought from South Africa, where he was managing some aviation businesses in South Africa. He was brought into this country to chair FAN, or to be the MD of FAN, and at some point he left FAN. So he's the CEO of IBOM, and he has a lot of it. He has tremendous experience when it comes to aviation management. So he's doing very well, and IBOM is doing very well. Akwa Ibom investment in aviation sector, I believe, is yielding a lot of profit, and the airport itself was built by Akwa Ibom State. It wasn't federal government. So every asset you see in Akwa Ibom Airport was built by the government. It started with Abram Victor Tar that actually came out with the idea, even though he did maybe 10%. Gospel Akpabio came in and finished up the airport, started the MOR, that is the hangar that is going to take care of repairs of aircraft, which is going to yield a lot of forex for Akwa Ibom State government on completion. So all those things are owned by Akwa Ibom State government and is yielding a lot of profit, and is also helping the aviation sector in this country. IBOM A today, I think, is the pride of the aviation sector in this country.
Interesting. I'm going to bring in another caller, 09073530044 and 09087668888. Hello.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Elder Noja. Good to have you.
Good morning, my regards to my honorable there.
Good morning, my brother.
I want to know the honorable came from which party?
YPP.
YPP. Yes. I thank God, but I want to advise you for one thing. The way you speak and then the way you present yourself, you are very talented. I know you are the type of person I need. You need in Nigeria. come to Senate. But my advice, that YPP, it should join with this Labour Party to win the election. Liaise with them. Get them mind together and win the election in Akwa State. Because if you are standing alone, you don't say PDP, they are chameleons. And then they are very intelligent in
I don't want us to ridicule any political party.
PDP, they are very powerful, and APC, they are very powerful. If you people can liaise in that place, you are coming to Abuja here. Because the way you speak, if you say I have my vote, I will give it to you in that Akwa State. But I'm not from Akwa State, I'm from Kogi. But I pray that God will help you. Try to match up on liaise. So you come to Abuja here and do what you present yourself to do. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Odonoja. Okay, seems like we would have to wrap this up. There's a message here from Palazzo. It says, good morning once again to you and your guests. Nigerian politics is a movie where everyone reads their script and come on stage to act according to the script. And we the masses are just watching the movie, criticizing, praising, and so on. All politicians have a way of talking to make you see them as the right person for the position. God help us all, because even the PO, we are all clamoring. Why did you send another one? Okay. Even the PO we're all clamoring for can change overnight if only some politicians will be mindful of people they delegate to power. To test a man's true character, give him power and money. I am not surprised about the cases against CBN governor and now INEC press chairman. It is all because it's all part of the script from the beginning, just to distract the masses as usual. We hope God shows us mercy in this country by giving us right people to handle power. God bless us. God bless Nigeria. Palazzo from Suleja, I say, I also wish there could be a bill passed into law to stop people moving from party to party. All right, Honorable Ekon, let's wrap this up. I'll give you 1 minute to speak to the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. Those are the people that matter most to you at this point as a politician.
That's correct. Well, I let me use this opportunity once again to appeal to the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, which I intend to represent in the Senate of the 10th Assembly. I've been a member of the House of Representatives for 8 years, and I believe I have a record of service. Those records are there. I represented the people of Abaga-Timekbuika for 8 years, and I think I would say in the history of representation, not just for Abaga-Timekbuika, for anybody that have ever gone to the House of Representatives, anybody that has ever gone to National Assembly, that includes both the House of the Representative and the Senate. In that senatorial district, I think I would say I surpassed all records. I did extremely well. And if nobody presses me, I will press myself because I know what I did. And experience matters. National Assembly is not a place that you can just, especially Senate, it's not a place that they just send new or freshers to go and represent your interests. The way it is now, if Akwa Ibom as a state does not send an experienced senator, then we are going to lose out as a state. So I am asking the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District today to give me their support. I will go there and work for them. I am going to be, in the history of that senatorial district, the most accessible senator. The most accessible senator that anybody can access anytime, young people can access. I'm going to be the only one that knows exactly what to do for the young people, creating jobs, making sure that the women are carried along. Some of them are looking for just a startup to start their small businesses. We know that. The young people, some of them are looking for skills. So we're going to train them. We're going to give the women a startup. We're going to also create jobs for the young people, especially the young ones that are coming out from the universities. We're going to make sure that wherever we find opportunity, we'll fix them. For the older ones, we know what to do for them. We know the kind of empowerment that we are going to do for them. I personally don't want to be that representative, that senator that will provide fish for everybody. but I want to teach people how to fish. I want my supporters to be dependent. To be independent. I don't want them to be dependent on me. It makes me sick when a young man is coming to my house, somebody that is supposed to be up and doing, coming to my house to ask for 1,000, 10,000. I want to make sure that you have something doing so that you can actually support me if I'm looking for election with your money. That's the kind of politics I want to play. I want to bring up people. I want to empower them to do something instead of going to depend on the crumbs from the politician's table. You do something on your own, because I think that's the problem that we are having. That's why young people today cannot even be truthful and be straightforward in politics, because of, I don't know if I will call it hunger, but when you empower them to do something on their own, I believe we are going to have a good democracy in this country. So I'm appealing to the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest to support me to go and represent them and know what the problem is, and by the special grace of God, just like we did when I was in the House of Representatives, we are going to fix it this time around too. Thank you very much.
Honorable Emmanuel Ekong, YPP senatorial candidate, Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning again. And to all of you who have been a part of the conversation, you know I call you MVP. Thank you so much for always being there. My name is Iheanacho Prince. Businesses comes up next, and right after that, 1, 2, 3 extra, Midday Extra takes over. Stay with us on your radio experience. You can count on Martha. What's happening? How are you this morning?
I'm alright. I'm doing great.
Doing great. I like your talk.
Thank you.
So what's happening? Today's Thursday. What's happening on the show?
Today's Thursday. What's happening? The new addition to our show, Abuja Now, and was that General Banters, where we get to talk a lot. I mean, a couple of them were saying we don't talk too much. We play a lot of music. It's the new year. We'll be talking a whole lot. Join the show.
Okay, keep it here on your radio experience. You can count on, join the show and have fun with the Midday Extra team. My name, again, Iheanacho Prince, His Radio Highness of Abuja. Keep it here.
Eagles Morning Rise with
Iheanacho Prince.
From Milky Way to Earth, everywhere there's internet, you can connect with Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Log on to our website www.eaglesfm.com. Follow and engage with us now on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at EaglesFM Abuja, Instagram at EaglesFM 1023. Download our apps on your Android and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio